Hi, I'm Peter Hickman and you're on board with me here at the IOM TT 2018 on my Smiths Racing BMW S1000RR, and this is the final lap of the senior race. We're up over St Ninian's there in top gear. Hear the bike just jump off the floor as we cross over the crossroads. Bottom of Bray Hill, absolutely flat out in top gear, bit of a wheelie up over Aggo's Leap, another one just there. And now we're heading down to Quarter Bridge, down a gear, back off the brakes, over jump onto the right hand side of the road. I tend to stay on the right because there's a lot of bumps on the left, all the way back down to first gear for Quarter Bridge. Really slow corner, just need to get through it. You can lose a lot more time than you can gain there, so you just need to get nice and clean through it. Back up to fourth gear and then back down to second gear for Braddon Bridge. Now unfortunately the back marker just about gets in my way here. I have to kind of hesitate a little bit. Flicked it just inside of him on the exit. Cost me a little bit of time, nothing too much, probably only cost me a second or so on the run up to Union Mills, which we're coming up to now. Top gear again for this fast left-hander. Up over the top there, the bike wants to wheel and wiggle a bit. Down a couple of gears, off the brakes, back on the brakes again, back to third gear, into the right, pick the bike up, left, pick it up again. That little jump, you need to be not too much throttle or anything as you go over that. You want a really good drive out of there, up the hill towards Ballascarey we're coming up to. That's where we're coming up to next. You need a real good run out of there. We're already back into top gear again. You can see the bike wants to wheelie, pin through that first bit, and what you're looking for is the speed signs. Where it says 30 mile an hour, just there. You want to hit the brakes, back a gear. You're looking for the curb. There it is. Back on the gas. Awesome corner that, Ballascarey. Again, really important corner because you've got a long straight after it. We're running up to DJ's next. You can do it flat out in top gear. It takes you all 2 weeks to be able to do it in your head, but you can do it. Listen to the bike scream its head off as we go through there. It takes you all 2 weeks to actually do it absolutely flat out. Over to the right hand side for the Crosby jump. 175, 180 mile an hour up over the top of that jump just there. There's less of a jump on the right hand side, that's why you'll see all the riders on the right hand side. Coming into Greba Castle, down a gear. Off the brakes, back on the throttle a little bit, back down another 2 gears, big bump just there as you run in. Make sure you're off the brake before you get to that bump. Use all the road on the exit, keep the speed up, back up to fourth gear. Change your direction over the top here, you've got to be really careful. The bike wants to shake its head a little bit, there it is. Clicking up to fifth, we're heading into Greba Bridge. On the brakes, back down 2 gears. Got to watch your shoulder on the wall just there, and also a change of camber on the exit. Nice and quick through there, and then one of the best corners on the circuit for me, Gorsley. I send all my friends and people who want to watch and get scared, that's where you want to stand, on the left just there. Gorsley, 7 miles in, it's a double right-hander, it's really fast, 165, 170 mile an hour through there. And now we're down into Ballascarey. All the way back down to second gear, and now the course gets a lot more technical. That first section there, that first 7 or 8 miles, not too bad, it's quite easy to learn, quite easy to see. All this here through Ballascarey. Famous milky corner, that one. Fourth gear, fifth gear, down to Ballig Bridge. All a bit more technical through this, and unfortunately the back marker really gets in the way through all of this. But there's not a lot you can do about it, so you just need to be patient. You need to try and pick them off where you can. I'm always a little bit cautious when I come against riders, especially riders I don't know, like the guy here. Just got to be careful, take your time. I ran in a little bit deep because I wanted to make sure I got past him cleanly. And then we're back on the pipe again, so back up to fourth gear. That's Black Dub just there here, the bike revs just jump, both wheels come off the floor. Change of camber, got to watch the front through here. Now you get hard on the gas, there you go, you can hear it spin up as we get on the gas there. Fourth gear, fast through the first left. Back a gear, slower through the second left. It's off camber, you got to watch the front. And now we're running into Glen Helen 2 properly. That's your first sector done, that's about 4 minutes odd through there, 4 minutes 10 seconds, something like that. Up to Sarah's Cottage, another patient corner, you've got to be really patient, don't get yourself too excited. Another back marker coming up, I actually backed off a little bit more here, so that I could run through that last kind of right left, and I didn't have to shut on the exit because it's really important because we're running up onto Cronky. We're already in fifth gear, I'm going to be sixth gear, just there as you jump up over the top, real fast section. End of Cronky, we're going to be off the gas and back on it again, no brakes. Ready? Off the gas, back on again. Absolutely pinned in top gear, bike shakes its head a lot through there. Coming up to the 11th milestone, I think it's called Drink Waters through here as well. Really good section this, fast right, fast left. 4th gear through there, clicking up to 5th. It's quite bumpy actually. You see the bike wants to move around a lot. Over onto the right hand side of the road, Hanley's Wall, back down 1 gear, coming up to Davy Morgan just here. Didn't cost me too much. I managed to kind of run through on the outside of him just there. I'd normally be where he was, but obviously I couldn't do that because he was in the way, but didn't cost me too much time that one, which was lucky because it's all fast sections, and all the fast sections really do cost you time if you have to roll off the gas. Top of Bagara there, and I'm going to run down to the bottom of the Bagara, and this is where all the oil was from earlier in the race, staying to the right hand side of the road. You can see all that oil on the left hand side there from James Hillier on lap 1. Obviously this is lap 6, so all of us riders had seen it by this point. You can see the marshals have got the yellow flags out, and that was James's bike just sat there on the left. We're coming up to 3 back markers now. Real good section all this. That was the 13th milestone. A bit of a spin on the exit there. She's getting a bit lively. Obviously we're on the 2nd lap of the tyre, so the tyre's not at its optimum grip. Managed to pass the first guy just on the run into Kurt Michael. Didn't cost me too much time, that guy, but this one cost me quite a bit. Normally we'd be pinned all the way through this section. I had to be really careful. I probably could have bullied my way through there, but to be honest, it's just not worth it. If he'd moved across any more than what he actually did, then we'd have both been inside that bus stop, and you definitely don't want to be in there. Managed to get a good run through here, and again, I didn't have to roll off too much for the last guy just there, and it was really important to get that section in clear because for this section ready. We're going to do a big jump Rencolin just there, and now I get a good run through Bishop's Court, and it's really, really fast through here, so you don't want to be held up because you'll just lose too much time. Up to 6th gear again. It gets really dark actually as a rider. It's quite, just been open through Kurt Michael. Now it's really dark with the trees. You can see the bike spinning again. We're coming up to Alpine. I think this is Iceman's, I think just before it, and then we've got Alpine. We're going to go back a gear just there. No brakes, back on the gas, use all the road up to that white line. Just there you go. Back up to 6th gear, and you're going to run now all the way to Ballascarey Bridge. Hear that engine absolutely revving its head off. All the way back down to 1st gear for me. Most riders do it in 2nd. I tend to like 1st gear. It's a bit the short circuit rider coming out in me. Get the bike stopped a bit more, a short shift 2nd. Rev it out in 2nd, use 3rd, 4th. Listen to that motor screaming its head off. Up to 5th gear now. No brakes. This is Ballascarey. It's one of the fastest corners. Massive jump over there. It looks like nothing on the onboard, but really you're jumping about 40, 50 metres. It's absolutely an insane corner. It's awesome. Back down 5th gear. You can do all the quarry bends in 5th if you get it just right. So you want to not use too much road on the first part, and from now you can be pinned, and it's really important to get this just right because you're going to have a long Sulby straight after it. A little bit of a wiggle on the exit, wasn't too much. I didn't have to roll out of it, so I managed to keep the speed up, keep the throttle pinned, sit in the middle of the road. I tend to sit just to the left hand side, there you go, of the middle. Basically the safest part of the road, just sat in the middle, got most amount of room either side of you. Listen to that motor. Absolutely singing it nuts off. It sounds absolutely brilliant. Right then, we're back down to 2nd gear. Nice exit just here. I have a pit board on the right, can't quite see it because that bug's in the way. But we're up to 3rd gear. This is Ginger Hall. Bit of a spin on the exit. Kerramore, really bumpy. So this whole section now, you can see the bike's chattering its head off. This is a really bumpy section all the way through here. Short shift, 3rd, 4th. Flick left, stand the bike up, quick jump, get over there. Now you can be pinned all the way to Iron Gates. If you get it all right, there's a bit of a line through here. If you just get it right, then you don't have to roll too much. There's a bit of a wheelie there I had to roll for, but other than that, I'm just keeping the bike pinned now. I'm up on the pegs, not even sat on the seat properly because it's just too bumpy. Back a couple of gears, flicking it into the right. And again, ready for this left. You'll see there's a drain, maybe. Yeah, there's the drain on the left. It's painted white, so you can see it. That's your apex. Running's Conker Trees, and that's Connor Cummins. You can see just in front. Connor's obviously a very, very fast rider, so we're not going to catch him too fast just yet. Up over the Conker Trees, there's 5th gear through there. It's fast. Really fast through all this. Bit of an unusual line that we have to take through there. I always find going in early tends to make the bike a lot more easy to control. Bit of a spin and a bit of a wiggle as we go up into Milntown now, just before Ramsey. Had a real good run there. And now for this, I was trying to line Connor up. I was thinking I need to pass him into Parliament Square, so I was trying to get a good run through Schoolhouse just there. Managed to get a nice run on him, and then just out braking going into Parliament. If you watch very carefully, you'll see the bike shudder away, and I have to stand it up. Just there, you even heard it kind of chattered a little bit. I just lost the front as I went in, just because I went in that little bit deeper than normal, just to try and make sure I passed Connor. So I wasn't waiting behind him through all of this section. This is Bray Hill. Still really bumpy. I tend to pull a wheelie deliberately there, get the weight onto the back part of the bike, and it tends to chatter a lot less if you do that. Real fast right-hander just there. That's really nice. Come through that bit and into Ramsey hairpin. Back to first gear. Nice and steady. Normally quite damp under here, but TT 2018 was phenomenal for weather, so it was really dry through all this section. I still get a bit of a spin, as you can hear, just onto the white line there in the middle of the road. This is Waterworks. I go back to first gear again. Most riders tend to stay in second, but back to first gear with that short circuit kind of style. Short shift 2 gears, flick right, flick left. It's really bumpy again through that section actually. You can hear the bike spinning still. Up to 4th. Not sure the name of this, but I'm already back to second gear now. Try and get the bike stopped, and back to first gear again for Gooseneck. I tend to use first in a lot of places where other riders don't. A lot of pit boards normally on the left there. I didn't bother with one this year. We're already back up to 4th gear and singing its head off. This is the start of the mountain now, so really a lot more open, as you can see. The circuit tends to be a little bit wider, and it's really smooth. This is Joey's ace corner through here. Use all the road on the exit. You can use a bit of the white line just there. On the run up to Guthrie's, clicking up to 5th, and we'll be back to 4th for Guthrie's. Just there, back 1 gear, back on the throttle. Nice through there, absolutely nailed it that lap for sure. Back to second gear, I get a bit of a spin out of here. I was a little bit excited. I was trying to keep the speed up. Obviously, I knew at this point Dean was still in front of me in the race, so I really needed a good run over this section of the mountain course. 4th gear, absolutely flat chat through there onto the mountain mile. Really important corner because this is uphill, and it's called a mountain mile because it's a mile long. So really important to get that bridge right, and that's why I was trying to get out of that right-hander before it just as fast as I could, and I lost a little bit of time through the spin. We're catching the helicopter now, but I didn't lose too much time. I didn't have to roll out of it too much. Through the first bridge, absolutely flat, can roll and then back on the power again. Back down to 4th gear, missed the first apex, which was just there, hit that second one, missed the 3rd one, and into the 4th one. There we are. Back up to 5th, keep it pinned. Oh, I love listening to that BM engine singing. It sounds absolutely awesome. Back a gear, we're coming up to the veranda next, into the left there, and now we're into the veranda. I'll go back up to 5th. There you go. Tend to sit in the middle for most of it. You can hear the bike just spinning again. That's in 5th gear, the bike spinning. Up to Graham's Memorial. Just click 6, and then I was back to 3rd gear for Graham's. Using the engine really to kind of slow me down more than the brakes. Just keeping it singing the whole time. Looking for the Marshall box on the left there. That's really kind of entry point, tipping in point for ready for the bungalow. Up over the tram lines. I have a pit board just on the left out of here, and that's telling me that I was 2 seconds behind at Ramsey hairpin in 2nd place, and I knew I was pretty fast over the mountain, so I figured by now-ish somewhere I should be about leading. I was tended to be a bit faster than Dean up over the mountain, and I was trying my absolute utmost to make this lap absolutely perfect. So far it was pretty good. We'll find out in a minute on the next pit board whether I actually made it or not. This is the 32nd. Again, missed that first apex. Second one just there, and the 3rd one really get tight into there. Windy corner's coming up next. Windy because it's windy. Bit of a spin on the white line there. The white line was just a little bit dusty. Didn't cost me too much time, luckily. Back up to 6th gear, and the bike really feels like it's revving really fast now because we're going slightly downhill. We're into the 33rd milestone, back 2 gears. Awesome corner this. That's it, up over the white line, back through it again, and then back out again. Awesome corner. Flicking up to 5th gear. Back 2. And leaving it in 3rd for Keppelgate here and down to Kate's Cottage. and to get a bit of a wheelie there. I didn't wheelie too much this lap. Up to 4th. Really keep the speed going. Using all the road on the exit there. A bit of a jump just there. Back up to 5th gear. Down on the run down to Craig. You see lots of people here. They're all waving and cheering. It is the last lap of TT, so there's another 12 months until we get to do this again. Nice drive out of there. And there was my next pit board, and that said P1 plus 0.8, so I was 0.8 seconds in front of Dean as of the bungalow. So the pit boards are always kind of behind themselves, if you know what I mean. So we're already further in front of where we actually are in the race. Brandish, awesome corner, 4th gear. Just listen to this. I had a couple of spins through there. I was just trying to lay the power on as early as possible for this long run down into Hilbury. Back a gear, 4th gear, absolutely nailed it again this lap. It was fast. Kept that speed up on the run up to Cronkney-Mona. I don't have any more pit boards for the rest of the lap. There's not much to go now, but I'm just trying to hit all the markers. I knew I was in front. I knew that I was fast all the way to the start line. I had been all week fast over the mountain, so we were just trying to make sure I kept my head. Don't do anything daft, don't do anything silly, just hit all your markers. Nice and clean riding through Bedstead just here. I can see the back markers coming, and I was thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen here? I don't quite know where we're going to catch them. We're going to catch them right as we go into Governor's Dip. Back to 1st gear. I was quite lucky in the end, really, because as of this point now, he stays over to the left, and that just allows me to flick through on the outside. Again, normally for TT, it's wet under there all the time, very damp and green, but because the weather was so good, there was loads of grip. I managed to get around the outside of him. He didn't really cost me any time at all, and managed to just get over the line just there and win the race by 2 seconds. I think I started the lap 5 seconds behind or something like that, 5 or 6 seconds behind, and to win by 2 seconds was absolutely phenomenal. To win my first, I still don't actually know I've won here, by the way, so I'm asking the crowd. So then I do a burnout. Once I realised that I've actually won it, I did a burnout, and yeah, just absolutely fantastic for myself and the Smiths Racing BMW team. The BMW S1000RR ran absolutely perfect all race. Pit crew did an awesome job in the pits, and yeah, just a massive thanks to everybody. I still now getting lots and lots of people tweet me about it, Facebook message me about it, and you know, people watching all the reviews on TV, and it's awesome to have so many people still chatting about it. And you know, 135.4 mile an hour lap, the only one ever around the IOM TT, is pretty cool and pretty special to have. Deep plater there. You've been telling me to get my finger out all week. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed that. More donuts, more burnouts.